The first video comes from Lovas Camping, a solo camper who sets out for what appears to be a relaxed overnight stay in the woods.
Welcome back to my channel! I'm gonna camp today. I'm done. Weather is perfect. Everything is great. Come along with me. Actually, rain is starting now, so I have to hurry. Outfit change?
At first, everything feels lighthearted. The weather looks manageable, the mood is upbeat, and she jokes her way through setting up camp. But almost immediately, things begin to feel off.
It's much better. Okay, let's go. Actually, false alarm, no rain yet. It's hot.
Her tent refuses to cooperate, soaking wet from unexpected rain and towering awkwardly against the trees. While struggling to fix it, she notices distant figures nearby. She brushes it off, saying they seem too afraid to come closer, but the comment lingers uncomfortably.
10 hours later, still there. The tent. See how wet it is? It's like soaking wet. It was so stupid to wear this type of pants when it's gonna be raining. Don't you think that my tent is a little bit too tall for this tree? Right? I think I gotta move it. I didn't expect that, to be honest.
As night falls, she cooks by the fire and tries to enjoy the view of city lights glowing in the distance. Yet the calm feels fragile. The weather keeps shifting, her gear fails repeatedly, and exhaustion sets in. By midnight, rain returns, and the wind begins to howl around her tent.
I'm starving and I'm very excited to eat corn dog. Here's
Morning brings no relief. The wind grows violent, shaking the tent hard enough that she fears it might lift off the ground. Missing stakes and worsening conditions force her to make a sudden decision. Without breakfast, without hesitation, she packs up and leaves.
holding strong. I don't have all the stakes for this tent. I lost some and I don't think. And I don't even think they put enough stakes for each thing. Okay, that's how my most. I was hoping to prepare some breakfast, but I think I'm gonna pack up and just leave because it doesn't look safe anymore. That's the current situation I'm seeing here. The wind is really stored. Oops. It's raining. Oh my god.
Sometimes nature doesn't need monsters to be terrifying. Sometimes it simply decides you're not welcome. That was a real adventure. I am glad you did not get blown off the hill. The next video comes from Candace Love, a solo van traveler documenting her quiet life on the road with her German Shepherd, Cleo. What begins as a calm morning in a rural park slowly shifts into something deeply uncomfortable.
Horizon, everybody. Cleo and I are leaving this park today. Say hi. So we're gathering our things. I have clients today, and yesterday I just didn't like how the Wi-Fi was.
Candace explains she's been staying longer than planned, enjoying the space, electricity, and safety the campground offers. But as she talks, it becomes clear that safety is starting to feel uncertain.
Leave that alone. He said you want to water. That's another thing too, like they have electricity here. They have water here. They have space where Cleo can kind of just run, which randomly yesterday is 100 degrees.
The park owner repeatedly calls her pretty, comments that linger longer than they should. He reassures her by mentioning how many guns he owns and casually admits he's been checking on her.
He's been really helpful, really nice. But he called me pretty 3 times yesterday. And I don't know if that makes me feel more comfortable or uncomfortable. I ain't even gonna front. It's like, you've been spotted. I'm just like, let me just, blend. All of a sudden you see him just fall dead. He was like, thank me, but don't thank me. And he also said, he was like, nah, I've been checking out on y'all. He said, I've been checking out on y'all every now and then. So you're good. Don't worry, you're good. That made me feel comfortable. But then you're so pretty. Get away from me. You're so pretty. I was like, don't tell me that. I mean, it's not the worst compliment to have. It just don't really feel like a compliment when multiple things can happen and you out in the middle.
While meant to sound protective, the words land wrong. Candace is alone, far from home, and painfully aware that she stands out.
This is like right behind the van. They was live at 5 back here last night. Right, Cleo? I told y'all it was deer up here. There's one watching us. There you go. Haha, yep, I'm watching you.
As Cleo silently watches everyone who passes, deer appear behind the van, staring from the tree line. The camera captures long moments of watching and being watched. Candace tries to ground herself through meditation, centering her energy before working with clients. But even in stillness, the tension remains.
Good Cleo. Cleo's like, I knew it was something up there. No. You can't go. You can't go. No, ma'am. I want to see my facial setup. So I've given myself facials. We have a visitor this morning.
Only considered your life to be the current scene. And as soon as this scene is over, it is let go.
Nothing dramatic happens. No attack. No chase. Just an unsettling realization. Sometimes what makes camping terrifying isn't what jumps out of the woods, but the quiet human attention you never asked for and can't easily escape.
Going to a new park. So, yeah, I didn't really have much for y'all today.
Trust your spidey senses or woman's intuition. Stay safe out there. This disturbing footage comes from Sarah, a solo van traveler documenting life on the road. What begins as a quiet night parked at a Cracker Barrel in Asheville, North Carolina, quickly turns into a terrifying confrontation.
So what you had just seen was a clip from the footage of the night that a man tried to break into my van and then proceeded to harass and make absurd threats when I wouldn't let him in. And I began recording the tail end of my encounter on my phone in case I needed it for the authorities. But
while cooking dinner alone in her van, Sarah hears an aggressive knock on the door. At first, she assumes it might be police. It isn't.
Until I found myself alone in the middle of making dinner. I was totally in my own world when I heard an alarming knock. Know her, please leave me be.
Fuck your camera, man. You're not
A man begins banging on multiple doors, shouting accusations, and insisting a woman who broke his heart is hiding inside her van. He demands she come out and prove who she is. Realizing the man appears intoxicated and unstable, Sarah stays locked inside, recording the encounter in case she needs evidence later. As he circles her vehicle and refuses to leave, fear sets in. Acting fast, Sarah disconnects her stove, jumps into the driver's seat, and slowly drives away. She later contacts the police and puts distance between herself and the area, eventually retreating deep into the mountains.
I'm safe right now, but I just had my first knock on the door. That was not the cops. Being alone, I was in the middle of cooking dinner. So I had my cooktop out, propane hose attached and everything. And then he's just bangs on my side door right here. I first turn off all the lights, turn all the sounds off so I can hear what's going on in case it is the cops and I need to talk to them. It wasn't. And then he banged on this door right here.
Though shaken, she reflects on the experience with clarity, emphasizing preparation, intuition, and choosing escape over confrontation. Her message is clear. Trust your instincts, stay calm, and leave when something feels wrong.
It broke her heart and thought that she was in my van and was telling me to come out and prove that I wasn't her. And I was just proceeding to tell him, please leave me be. I am not who you think I am. I'm just...
You showed remarkable restraint. I was so hoping you'd just drive over him. The fourth video centers on Brittany, a van lifer camping near Lake Tahoe, who captures one of the most alarming encounters of the night.
Hey friends, welcome back to my channel, Where is Brittany? I'm Brittany and I am coming to you from inside of my spare bedroom. So I know it's been about 2 weeks since I've released a video. So much has happened. My solar is now fully installed, which is great. I'm gonna have a video about that.
While parked and cooking breakfast inside her van, Brittany leaves her doors and windows open, unaware that the smell of pancakes is carrying through the forest.
It's actually 17 minutes long. It's this not landscape but horizontal, and I was filming or going live on Instagram during the whole encounter. So what you'll see is literally what took place less than 2 hours ago at Lake Tahoe. Yes. So
Suddenly,
It's freezing. But I'm not allowed to go to Starbucks today. That is my mission. I have a 7th goal. We are doing our 6 goals today.
seeing her space, planning her week, and working on creative projects while enjoying the quiet isolation of her campsite. The setting feels peaceful, almost routine, as she films her daily rituals and talks about goals, fitness, and life on the road.
TikToks a week and then 2 songs a week that are more produced, completely produced, and then I'll TikTokify them. I've got a lot of moving parts happening right now, so just prioritizing like what's bringing in money and what's gaining a following, that kind of thing. What are we doing? Where? You want to go that way?
That calm breaks when an unfamiliar man suddenly pulls into the campsite in a massive RV. He isn't part of her usual group, and his presence feels unexpected and intrusive.
People know of this spot, but it's a little more secluded than your average spot. And he looked kerfuffled, probably a very nice gentleman, but I decided to grab my pepper spray just in case he came up to my vehicle. Because I'm the only one parked at this spot, and I was not expecting any visitors today. And I don't personally know of anything much more frightening than a lavender-colored pepper spray. Bitches be scared. They be scared. Because nothing quite protects you from strangers like pepper spray and sarcasm.
Dana admits she immediately feels on edge. Alone and far from others, she grabs her pepper spray, unsure if he plans to approach her trailer. The moment lingers, uncomfortable and unsettling, as she watches and waits.
Quite the beautiful evening. I'm the only one at camp. Just me and a cotton candy sunset. And I finally got dressed for the day, so getting our goals in. Everybody's at the lake right now, but I've just been posting my TikToks and Instagram and song of the day and just having a good old time.
Though the man never confronts her and later appears harmless, the fear stays with her into the night. Dana reflects on how vulnerable solo camping can feel, especially when strangers appear without warning. Even in beautiful places, it only takes one unexpected encounter to turn peace into fear.
Bat. Run for cover! I don't like bats. They freak me out. The moon looks pretty. Yeah, this is my big edit day, so I have tomorrow and the next day to just kind of chillax and do some fun stuff with friends. That'll be great. I had to get in my goals though. Very important for me to stick to them. I'm kind of an introvert, and being around people, it's not exhausting. I love to...
The final video of the night comes from a solo female van lifer traveling across Texas on her way toward the East Coast.
I was enjoying a restful night at my campsite with free hookups in no man's land.
We are, for sure, in the middle of nowhere. For sure.
After a long and exhausting drive through remote northwest Texas, she decides to stop at a Harvest Host location, a program that allows travelers to park overnight at local businesses. On paper, it feels like a safer alternative to isolated boondocking.
As I told you last time, I know firsthand how dangerous this section of drive can be, so I decided for my next stop, I'd find a Harvest Host rather than boondock. For those of you who don't know, Harvest Host is an online membership where local businesses offer overnight parking for patroning their store. Sounds harmless, right? Well, little did I...
But almost immediately, things feel wrong. While walking her dog near the parked bus, she's catcalled and followed by a man, forcing her to change routes so he won't discover where she's staying. The realization that she's alone, visible, and vulnerable hits hard.
So it'll be a nice little change of pace. So Rio and I are gonna go walk around town a little bit and see if we can find this laundromat.
So I literally just took Rio outside to go walk around the block to
check out the laundromat and I'm already getting catcalled. It's so frustrating, especially now. The way I'm traveling, it's just like, ugh. Makes me feel uneasy. I just hate cities, urban areas. And I now, Rio.
Behind the calm narration, she later admits to a quiet breakdown, fueled by anger, fear, and frustration at how unsafe the situation feels.
Yo, come on. Gotta pack a little, oh, nope. This way. I just had to walk around the block the other way to prevent the guy who was catcalling me from continuing to follow me, and I didn't want him to know where the bus was and that I was living in it, because I'm just behind this business, you know, like, it's nice to be on private property, but I mean, at the end of the day, like, this isn't, like, yeah, it's still just me out here. And then the pack of, like, the small little dog.
She locks herself inside for the night, shares her location with a trusted friend, and listens as noise from a nearby bar carries through the dark. Her dog growls at movement outside, keeping her alert until morning.
Attention to me as possible and just lay low. So I sent my coordinates to a close friend so they knew where I was, locked myself in, and tried to block out the noise coming from the bar I was parked behind. I was stressed, angry, but more prepared to protect myself than ever. Intuition is by far the best weapon you can have when being a solo female.
By sunrise, she leaves immediately. The experience serves as a sobering reminder that sometimes the most unsettling moments in travel aren't caught on camera, but felt deeply through instinct. Trusting intuition, she drives on, determined to find peace elsewhere.
It sucks to not feel super safe and secure where you're parked, but that's the reality of bus life, and God forbid anything happens, I'm confident in my ability to react to things, but I think really I just need to hunker down, cut my losses, and then get out of here.